DC's Titans Season 4 finale. Titans Forever. Did this end with a satisfying conclusion? We're going to talk about it. We're back. Titans 4 season finale. I will be stepping in for Brent as he is out enjoying Japan, and we're going to get right into this. This one started off with supposedly a bang, with Trigon being summoned right out the gate. This is what we were kind of leading up to. This kind of stuff that was talked about. No more, shenanigans. He's here. This is what's going on. So basically, he shows up, and with his grand entry and how he plans on ruling everything, we kind of just get down to the nitty gritty of what's going to happen with him. Brother Blood says, "We're going to rule together, right?" That's right, son. We're going to rule together. And then he commits patricide. He straight up murks Trigon with no effort whatsoever, rips out his heart, and just like, yay, I'm more powerful now, and I'm going to rule this thing. Pretty cut and dry. Nothing different from some of the stuff I've read in the comics. So it's kind of like, okay, kind of saw where this is going. Made sense. I want to know what they're going to do with him kind of going forward. So we keep getting into it. We see that Superboy is injured beyond repair. Apparently, he is just knocked out. And after Brother Blood does his thing with Trigon, he ends up taking off because he's got to go and set up his power struggle to take over the world however he wants to. And pretty much he needs to destroy everything. Earth, Tamaran, all in one shot. Just wants it gone. So, with that being said, Titans show up. They end up getting a hold of Superboy, and they got to stabilize him with some red kryptonite. He is completely dead, flatlined according to the monitors. He is done, but, that red kryptonite is probably going to do the trick at some point in time. While all this is going on, Dick makes a call because he wants to make a reservation for a restaurant for 6 people. So this is kind of the foreshadowing that trying to do. I guess we're going to have 6 people at the end survive, and coincidentally there's 6 Titans. So kind of, it speaks for itself as far as what's going to happen. So once all this is done, we see Brother Blood infiltrating Star Labs. He's got to find the Icarus lab. This is some secret lab that's been hidden, and Bernard, who mysteriously wakes up right on time to make sure that he sees everything that's going on. Brother Blood doesn't see him. Brother Blood decides to kill everybody in Star Labs, and he calls the Titans real quick. It's like, hey, he's here. It's going down. I need you to get here to save. And he's probably going after the Icarus lab because that's what he needs to get hold of. Or I'm pretty sure Brother Blood said it or whatever. So he lets them know, and it's like, okay, well, we got to tell everybody what the Icarus lab is. So of course he starts to explain in classic fashion. Then, hey, Dick, why don't you fill us in? Not the scientific guy who's been sitting there the entire time, who knows more about this stuff than anybody. We want Dick to finish explaining what the Icarus lab is. Sure, why not? It's something I don't really know about, but it's supposed to bring wormholes and put stuff together. Okay, great. Thanks for the explanation. Again, the writing has been in and out this season, and all this kind of just felt really predictable. Again, episode with Gar, which is like 9 and 10 weren't, was it 9 and 10, 10, 11 in that range were decent for everything that's going on. This one's just kind of, everything's trying to wrap up, so they got to finish it out. So either way, Icarus Gate, it needs like 1,000 Zeta Joules to be powered. They're trying to figure out, oh my God, who has enough power to power it? It's pretty obvious, it needs, 10,080 something of Earth's suns to power it. So there's only 2 people who really have the strength and power inside of DC Titans, and only one who has that energy capacity, which is Starfire. So we know that her name is Starfire, which is sun. Like, all makes sense. So she makes sense as the one to power it. So basically, she gets upset about all this, and she realizes what's going to happen. He's got to destroy Earth and Tamaran because it's what he wanted. So she runs out the RV to take off in the Porsche or whatever it is to go figure it out. Dick jumps in with her, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, because your whole team is right there, and you get in the car and drive off for whatever reason just to all be back together to go infiltrate Star Labs and figure out what's going on. Yeah, whatever. So Titans just keep going off on their own and just doing stuff whenever they want to, and it just doesn't really make sense. If we're supposed to be a team working together, they do it. So either way, Titans finally get there and they got to work their way in. Seems like Corey gets taken over by Brother Blood and seduced more or less to come up there, and then this dude proceeds to monologue his entire plan as he wants to destroy Earth of Tamaran, how he's going to do it, what he needs to do it, and how he's going to make her do whatever he needs. And without any effort whatsoever, he pretty much captures her, shackles her up, and ties her to things to start draining her energy for this whole Icarus gate. No problem whatsoever. Well, while that's going on, the Titans are working their way up, and they got to fight these metahuman guards who are there to stop them. Again, these are just regular human people, as far as I know, but they're there to stop metahumans specifically. So it ends up just being a regular old kind of fight, and powers are used. No powers are shut off. Nothing. Powers are just used to smack these guys around willy nilly, and that's it. Eventually, they get in there and they fight Brother Blood. And as they're fighting Brother Blood, we get the explanation like, okay, you got to find out how to shut this thing down. Tim can't get into the computer to figure out what's going on because everything's locked, and he's just mashing a bunch of random keys because we're in those big holographic like keyboard things. So he's mashing a bunch of keys and not doing nothing. And then Gar is told, hey, there's cables. You got to disconnect those cables to, shut down so it can't navigate. So he goes over and he starts trying to pull the cables out. Instead of changing into like a gorilla or something to pull these cables out with his, strength, he's just sitting there pulling at them regularly and having a struggle time to get it done. Like he gets one and then two, and then of course fighting is just kind of still happening in the process. While this fighting is going on, it's pretty much Nightwing and Robin trying to take down Brother Blood, and Superboy is still out. Raven is trying to figure out what's going on with Starfire, and she keeps getting electro zapped every time she touches her. So she's like, I gotta help you some type of way. She starts feeling on her face and stuff to kind of channel into her to kind of figure it out. So it's like, all right, cool. She's gonna kind of help reawaken her some type of way because she passed out, I guess, from getting her energy drained or something. I don't know. She just kind of passed out. So as they're fighting all of these guys and stuff, eventually it gets down to, okay, we got to help Gar because he's about to get sucked into the portal. So I'll fight Brother Blood on my own, freaking as Nightwing. You go help him out because he's going to get sucked into the portal. Now, this man, they use octopus tentacles to attach himself to the ground. And at some point, we get, Robin to go over there and grab his octopus tentacles to pull him. Now, Robin has no stability whatsoever because he is not attached to anything, but the floor is. So it makes more sense to hold on to the floor with the octopus tentacles and then him grab him than it does to completely let go of the floor and then hold on to Tim because he's not as powerful as the wormhole is pulling Gar in. You don't think it'll pull him in too, but I digress. So eventually he saves him and keeps him from getting pulled in. And in this process, we got, Nightwing, who was unable to defeat Brother Blood to his full capacity. It's like, yeah, can't beat you, but he can. And then, of course, Superboy pops in. He's all good. He's in uniform. He's ready to go. And he done reawoken because of a lick from, his dog who said, oh, I'll make you feel better. And then we get an instant beep. And he's instantly fully recovered and aware of everything that's going on in the time it took for this fight. Now, it was like 320 seconds till fully charged. So somewhere within 320 seconds, he got his hand licked and then came back and he was ready to go. So fantastic. So with this being said, it's like he ends up doing the thing to kind of finish him off. And then we get Nightwing throwing his little stick and they kind of electrocute fry him in the process of getting all the cables and stuff unplugged. So now it's no longer tracking Tamaran, but it's still got full power ready to go. Raven ends up waking up Corey using her power. So she wakes up, kind of looks at her. It's like, hey. And then effortlessly reaches up to the shackle that's on her arm and just pops that thing off. And she escapes from the chamber thing where she's already charged up the thing. So it's already ready to go. And then they have to figure out, okay, well, what are we going to do now? So this is eventually 10,000 suns worth of charge. And apparently all this electrocution power surges through Brother Blood when he gets fried, and he survives it. No problem. He just kind of glows blue for a second, but all that power is just either sucked into him or dissipated or whatever. It's not reabsorbed anywhere else. Maybe there's generators or something. I don't know, but there's something going on there. So after all that's said and done, Corey does the whole thing where she's like, you know what, we got to finish this off. And Superboy's about to throw him through a wormhole. And it's like, no, he may come back. Like, if you put his behind in deep space and let him suffocate, I don't really think he's going to come back. But he may come back, so he's got to be destroyed. So Corey freaking scoops him up and does her whole self-sacrifice, flies up into the air, and destroys him, sacrificing herself in the process. I guess releasing a whole bunch of kind of power, kind of similar to what they did in the Miles Morales video game. If you haven't played already, that's your fault. But just kind of self-explosion, power, whatever. And then everybody has the whole, she's dead, she's gone, we're sad. We get a Christmas flashback of some type. And then after that Christmas flashback, it comes back to, bam, everybody's still standing there. And not even 20 seconds after she exploded, everybody's starting to walk away. She flies down in her orange fire. And she's like, I'm okay. Hair is perfect. Like nothing happened. And it's like everybody's happy and reunited and ready to go. And they make that reservation, that dinner date for all of them just to go and say, hey, we're here. We're alive. We all made it. We're going to go our separate ways now. So Titans forever, but not forever because we're leaving. We're going each way. So Raven decides she's going to Bloodhaven to go to community college. Gar is going to go ahead and go back to the Red in his little multiversal kind of thing, and he's going to hang out there because he's the guardian of that. Robin is going to juggle his work life in Gotham because Robin has a duty and responsibility to his romantic life in Metropolis with Bernard. Superboy is going to stay in Metropolis, and we get a cameo of Red Boots. Not the big red asteroid boots that everybody's been seeing online and stuff like that. No. Superman's red boots just standing there. Nothing else but Superboy trying to learn how to fly. So he's getting a flying lesson from Superman's boots. And that's kind of it. And then we see Dick and Corey kind of pursuing their relationship a little bit more and trying to figure out what they're going to do since everybody's kind of taken off and got to figure it out. And after we get that, it starts to cut to the end scene, and we get one more shot of Superboy, who is finally getting the hang of flying. He now has a full head of hair again. So it's been a while, but he's getting the hang of flying. That's pretty much the rundown of the entire season finale. And honestly, I say for me, that was kind of lackluster, predictable, and boring. I don't really care. Like, I was not really invested in this from the beginning. I rewatched everything today, leading all the way up to this, and still it's just like, no, I'm not really there. And it just didn't seem like it had the full effect. And of course, they got canceled mid-season. So there's no more Titans. This is it, period. Titans Forever is a wash. Again, because show got canceled. James Gunn and Peter Safran are doing their thing to restructure the DC universe however they see fit. And this looks like one of the things that was already on the chopping block even before they became, in charge. But this is just what's been ongoing with a lot of the DC properties. And I'm not disappointed. I'm really not. This show has not been what it could have been. And I really think that they definitely should be starting from scratch and trying to refigure out how to run the DC properly. And I have high hopes after Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that James Gunn knows how to do this, or at least knows how to get it started. So we'll take that for what it is. Other than that, I want to make sure I hear your comments. So make sure that you hit that freaking subscribe button. Go down in the comments. Tell me what you think about this episode. Tell me what you think about how Titans was going. If it could have kept going, what could have made it better? What could have, what did they do bad? I want to hear everything that you got to say about it, because honestly, like, I'm kind of ready to go in on this more than I already have. It just didn't make any sense. So that's all I got for this one. So